Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Your host, the Raven, here, bringing you some crunk gameplay. The Escapists. I saw other people, other YouTubers play this, and I really liked it. It seemed like a really fun game to try. Really interesting. At the time when I was watching videos on it, it was still in early access, and I still have yet to purchase an early access game on Steam. A brief soapbox in a little bit, if y'all forgive me. I haven't, early access. It just seems like a rip off to me. I'm from a older school. I grew up with video games. The Nintendo was the hottest system, and then Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So, and from in those days, there was no early access. Either they made it and it was complete, and you purchased, you either liked it, you loved it or hated it. There was no DLC. I'm not against DLC if it adds good content, like adds meaningful substance to an already good game. I'm against it if it's just like the back half of the actual game or whatever, some other kind of scammy, scummy circumstance. But anyway, early access. I haven't purchased an early access game because I hear too much. I hear too many bad stories. They're like, well, I bought this and it's not it's not complete. Well, does early access, but it's more like of the lines if they bought it and it's not what it didn't have features that it said it had or something else like that. And a lot of people are like, well, they're so stupid, why didn't they do this or do that before they purchased it? Well, that's true. You can research a game before you even decide to make a purchase, especially if it's early access, which means it is unfinished. In fact, I highly recommend researching it, making an informed decision. But you can't inform yourself about their lying. If the developer is just lying, say, oh, well, it has this feature, it has that feature, and you play it and it doesn't have it, how can you get past that, because, and nobody else has said anything about it because that's not what they're interested in. You may be looking for a certain feature that, other people might not be focused on or whatever. So if they say they're gonna put something in it but they never get around to doing it, there's no way for you to predict that. So that's why I haven't bought any early access games on Steam. But anyway, watching this, it was an early access game at the time, and I was really intrigued. I think it's an ingenious idea, to simulate prison life and escaping it. It blurs the line between, there's enough realism, like prison fights and having to avoid the guards and all this other type of stuff, to where and escaping, the difficulty of escaping. It blurs that line with the fantasy of it is a video game. It is to be lighthearted. It's not a hardcore prison sim or something like that, which I wouldn't want to play that anyway. The graphics are pretty awesome to me. They remind me of Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, especially the bushes. Out of all the YouTube videos I've seen of people playing through this, the first level or the tutorial or whatever, I've never heard anybody comment on that. But to me, those sprites look exactly the same. So, that's my little 2 cents. But anyway, at the time I purchased it, it just got off early access, and they're having a Steam sale on it. They're having I guess like for a week or so, they're giving it, they're doing like a promotional pricing type deal. And I decided, hey, just no time like the present. I jumped on it, and bam, just getting into it. It's really fun, right off the bat. In this video, we're gonna cover the first 2 days of that I've had playing it or whatever. And they start you off with the tutorial, which I was a little bit annoyed. You can't skip the tutorial, because if you've seen other people play it on YouTube or whatever, the tutorial isn't that like groundbreaking. I've read one review where a person was like, the tutorial doesn't teach enough. They just tell you how to move, some basic things like you can do this, like, stand on the desk and you can see the vents. You can dig with a shovel to dig up, do that, which now that's, you definitely want to know how to dig up. If you dig in an empty space, it'll go go vertical instead of just continuing forward. So that's pretty cool. But a lot of people complain. I've heard complaints that, well, they don't teach you enough. They don't teach you how to make this or do that. But you have to think, though, this is a game that's about escaping jail. Now, unless you're some kind of super mastermind criminal or whatever, you're not going to know what to do the first day. You're not going to just go inside the jail and the guards will be like, hey, here's your cell, here's your bunk mate or whatever. Have fun, knock yourself out. And then as soon as the guy turns his back, you immediately have a plan to escape, and you immediately know what to do and what to make and how it works. And one, to their credit, I think this talent could be put to a better use. But prisoners, like especially life, like people who've been got life sentences, stuff like that, they make up all types of stuff. And, everybody knows about the shields and the shanks. Shave down, a comb or something to make a spike, or, keep a, melt a razor blade inside of a toothbrush handle or something like that, make a little knife or something. But they go beyond that. Like, I mean, they have so much time on their hands, and they have nothing else to do but escape. I mean, some people want to stay in prison. Everybody has a different personality or whatever. But I think a lot of them do think of escape, and they do think a little nifty stuff. If you've watched any of the popular prison life television shows, especially Orange is the New Black, they make up all types of stuff. They, mash up peppers and to make, creams, and they use the bottle caps of this to make that. And and if you look, you can Google like prison recipes where they use ramen noodles to make this, and how they can make liquor and all sort of type of stuff inside of jail. So it's a lot of that stuff, but once again, you don't know that going in fresh. That's something you have to learn. So I kind of agree with the tutorial just giving you the bare bones basic, because what guy, I mean, like I say, if you're not a mastermind criminal or super genius, you're not gonna know how to make this stuff. And speaking of popular prison shows, there's one TV show I like called I Almost Got Away With It. In one episode, this dude, he made a fake gun out of toilet paper. I think it was toilet paper and paper mache or something like that, and he made it, into the gun shape, and it had the handle and the muzzle and all that kind of stuff. And he used a Sharpie marker to color it in black. You know what I'm saying? So it looked like a real gun, and he used that. So, and you think how long it took that guy to think of something like that. Like, I mean, I don't know anybody who would know how, I think how many times he failed trying to make it, like how many crappy ones he made he had to throw away. You know what I'm saying? So really, like it didn't, the paper was too wet or too soft or something. It didn't really come out that good. So anyway, welcome everybody to the prison. This is day one. We got if you ask me, a kind of an asinine letter from the warden saying, oh, our facility is so great, you got free cable. Like, this game is called the Escapists, and I'm gonna escape. I don't care how much cable is in there. And anyway, and that's a weird letter to say to send to a prisoner. Oh, our place is so wonderful, you getting free cable or whatever. Like, jail and prison isn't supposed to be a reward. I mean, there's people that, free citizens or whatever, that can't afford cable. They only watch regular TV. But hopefully, with the prevalence of the internet, like if you can't afford cable, I mean, there's YouTube, there's, websites that have TV shows, stuff like that. And not all of them are illegal. Before anybody starts, busting my chops, there are sites that show free TV and it's legal, and it's, show shows or whatever. Hulu is one of them. So anyway, that's just a weird letter. Hey, we got cable, we got, the best beds and all sort of type of stuff. That's just a crazy letter. So anyway, breakfast, nothing really to do. I hate the breakfast. The breakfast time, I think, is the most useless part of the day, because if you look over to your left, the top left corner, you have your money, which I'm very surprised that you have any money. Like, I don't know any prison or jail that I've heard of that, day one, you start off with some money on your books, or, money on the commissary or whatever. So, that I didn't even look while I was playing this. I didn't even pay attention to that. I didn't even look up there. So anyway, there's money. You have your hearts, your max health or whatever. If you lose your max health in a fight, you get knocked out. You get sent to the infirmary. The next symbol, you have a guard, like a little guard icon as a percentage. That is just the guard suspicion. The higher that number, the more likely you're going to catch a beat down or get imprisoned or get searched or whatever, even shot. I've seen some YouTubers play it and they've been shot from the guard towers or whatever. So you don't want to get capped. And since you're trying to escape, you don't want any attention from the guards anyway. I mean, what's the point of having the guards breathing down your neck if you're gonna try to escape from jail? And underneath that, you have your stamina meter. As that number rises, you get more tired. If you're tired, you can't do anything. So anyway, that number goes down when you eat. But when you wake up in the morning, that number is at 0. Unless you've been doing something at night. So waking up in the morning and eating the breakfast is like a waste of time to me, because like you have to sit there and eat, but you don't really need it. But once again, that tedium is part of prison life. It's very tedious, and you can tell already. This game is really fun, but it will take some patience. I mean, you have to think about it. And see, I just tried Jack a Dude. And I wasn't watching the guards when I did that. You can see my percentage went up to 22%. But they'll cool off if they can't catch you. And one thing about it is that they don't hit those corners. It's kind of like playing Pac-Man when you're avoiding the guards. I mean, if you on the straightaway, they keep right up with you. But if you hit them corners on them, you can like put distance between yourselves easily. So that's one little exploit that I just learned by accident by getting caught stealing from that dude. My whole strategy for this is to take my time. I figure, like if you were in prison for real, you want to be physically fit. You want to be strong as possible before you escape. Because once again, I've seen TV shows where guys have escaped jail or something like that, and like there'll be like a group of guys, and they're planning an escape, but one of them will be out of shape or something like that, and it'll always be the other two jump the fence and are running, and this dude, he gets to the top of the fence, but he's too tired and he gets stuck in the barbed wire or something like that, or there's always like a guy like that. Once again on the show, I almost got away with it. Dudes who were running from the police, and one guy was too, he was out of shape. They were running up a hill, and he couldn't make it, so he decided to stay and fight out with the cops. And then there was one time a guy was too heavy set or whatever to get over a hill or something, but that actually helped him because the other two guys ran on ahead and they ran into like the police waiting for him or whatever. But this guy, he just happened to luck out because he got tired. So, but 9 times out of 10, it's a hindrance to not be physically fit. If you're gonna try to escape jail or anything, you want to be physically as physically fit as possible. My comments on doing the laundry, I actually don't mind the laundry job because what I like about it, you're in a little secluded room, and right off the bat, at least in this very first beginner's prison, you can see that there's a shiny box down there in the corner of the wall, so that lets you know there's an interesting area to get to, and there's a locked door, but obviously you can get through that. There's a way to get past that or whatever, even if it's like getting through the walls or whatever, which you can do. The walls aren't invincible. There's many strategies you can use. So anyway, the wash machine, you're in a secluded area. And also I like doing the laundry because if you notice, you get to wash both prisoner uniforms and guard uniforms, which I think that's pretty funny because I don't think in a real prison the prisoners would ever have access to a guard uniform or officer's uniform, even for laundry. I mean, maybe every now and then, there's like a real crooked guard or something. He's like, wash my clothes for me, or whatever, and he's got prisoners, washing his clothes, something like that. But as an institutional rule, like a law of the jail, I don't think they'll let you wash the clothes, because I mean that's what you'll think to do. Like me, when I'm not gonna steal it yet. Like this is just, like I say, this video is only covering day 1 and 2. I'm not gonna steal a guard uniform right now, because I don't have a need for it. And if you caught with contraband, they kick the crap out of you and they send you to solitary confinement, and you lose all your progress and items and stuff. So I don't want that to happen to me. So like I say, I know I can get a hold of a guard uniform, but I'm not gonna do that until I literally need it. Like the literal night of my escape, like that day, I'm gonna sneak a uniform or something and hide it somewhere, and then use it. Because if you spot it outside, you want to at least have a thin shield, a thin cover. So anyway, here we are at evening meal. Once again, this is kind of useless because my energy meter isn't up, so I don't really need the food. One thing is pretty funny though. See, as you can see, there's a fight there. A lot of times, if dudes get beat down in the lunchroom, and you can take advantage of them being knocked out to steal stuff off of them. Now, so far as prisoner alliances, you can tell who is kind of on your side or who is against you by when you put your cursor over them, you can see their name or whatever. So robbing my homeboy. I named that prisoner Chris after my best friend. That's pretty funny. And he got beat down by the cops, and I robbed him. I can't believe that. But anyway, on the internet, what it does is it gets your intellect up, because in order to craft a bunch of stuff, like craft shanks and craft fake stuff, fake dummy or whatever, you need to know how to do it. So, and the 2 ways that I'm aware of is either getting on the internet or reading a book. And I spend a lot of time on the computer myself, which is pretty obvious. I'm uploading a YouTube video of me playing video games, so obviously there's I spend some time in front of the computer. So this is my little cup of tea. And the internet room is right next to the laundry room, which I left some clothes in there going, because when I first left, when work was over, I figured it's no big deal, you know what I'm saying. But then I thought twice about it, because I didn't want them to say, oh well, look, somebody left this going, who did this? And guards get suspicious for whatever reason, and I get caught doing something, or get searched or something like that. Yeah, so anyway, you have exercise machines for working out your strength and your speed, and you have the computer for working out your brain, which I think is pretty cool. You need all 3, and like I say, you want to be the best you can possibly be. If you're gonna escape jail, what's the sense of trying to escape and you're not even ready? You know what I'm saying? So even free time, you can use it to do whatever you want. And right now, I'm just kind of peeping around, trying to get a feel for the place, what's what. And here's the job board, which I thought that was a TV when I first walked up to it. And I can see there's a metal shop vacancy, which seems interesting. You can get your hands on some metal, or maybe there are even some tools inside there, like screwdriver or a file or something. Like, you don't know what's in the machine shop, but for the time being, I'm gonna stick to laundry. I like that, and it's fast to do, And we're checking here. There's a camera right there on the corner, and there's this visitation room. So there's lots of other places. The thing I'm most concerned about at this moment, having no experience actually escaping myself, is the fact that there seems to be so many rooms within rooms. Like, I don't want to break through a wall just to wind up in like a guard's room or something like that. You want to get out of the prison. You don't want to make a tunnel just to be, tunnel from one spot to the prison to wind up, in another spot still inside the prison. You want to make it completely out. So I need to take that 3rd day and just scope around, like, do my chores or whatever, but really just try to scope and feel out the place, because I want to do this right. I want to, at least for this prison, like, in the beginning it says it's very easy level, so I don't want to get caught and beat down, just the first 2 attempts or whatever. So anyway, to save your game, you can just get into bed and sleep, which is cool, and also reminiscent of Minecraft. And watching, here's a morning roll call again, which is so, I really wish you could skip the roll call, but if you don't show up, the guards will be like, where the hell is he? And, that's just one of the things you can do. So anyway, these guys got missions for me or whatever, and they want me to beat down a guard. That's another thing I'm not gonna do, is whoop a guard, which is funny. And other videos I've watched, I've seen people do that, like beat down a guard. But in real life, though, if you're trying to escape jail, the last thing you want to do is get into an altercation with a guard, because that dude will be, especially if you beat him down, that guy, he'll be on your ass every opportunity he gets. He's gonna try to do something to you or foil you in some way. So anyway, we're going back to another useless breakfast, and I see them kick his butt, and I'm thinking I want to kind of hang back to see if I can rob him, but that other guard stays watching. I don't know what he's doing to him, like, kissing him or something. Like, ugh. So anyway, stealing more forks and knives. Because the videos I have seen, you can use plastic forks to chip away at walls, and since they're made of, they're not contraband. Anything that you touch that's green isn't contraband. So if you have it you can store it in your desk without it being robbed away. If you're caught doing something. I just want to check my journals, because at this point, like, I thought I didn't have any money whatsoever, but I guess you get money from your work too. So you can either earn money the legit way by just doing your job, which is a slow way, and you can also earn money by doing favors for other inmates. And I want to do a little bit of favors for some inmates, and I picked to beat down Seymour Butts because he's out of all the people I've renamed, he's the most memorable person. Like, I forgot what I named most of them, so I was like, so anyway, but Seymour Butts is like, that's, it's a joke name or whatever, so that sticks out. But once again, if you're gonna do something, you want to be as ready as possible, and so you gotta get physically fit. You gotta get your weight up. You gotta get your strength up. Get your speed up. So there he goes. But I want to train first. So and one thing I'm not quite sure about is how I'm gonna handle prisoner relations. Doing favors for others raises their favor with you. And obviously, beating down and robbing other inmates will lower their favor with you. And at this point, I don't know, but it would be really cool if you have like a guy who really hates your guts, like another prisoner who really hates you. Like, if he tries to snitch on you when you try to escape, like his cell is next to yours. So he says something like to the guards, like, hey, I hear, Raven, tripping away at his cell wall at night. You need to check him out or something like that. Because that would be a nice touch. And all the reviews I've read, it seems like there seems to be a ton of like little touches in the game, which, since the graphics are so simplistic, it would make sense that they would have, extra content like that. It would be silly if they didn't have the details to make up for the the lacking of content. That just wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. Shakalaka, eating more food, and once again I gotta check out Seymour Butts' stats, because you gotta size up your opponent. You know what I'm saying? You don't wanna get in an altercation with somebody that you can't defeat. I mean, that's just stupid. Like, only a moron would do something like that. Get involved with somebody they can't beat. So checking them out, I think we got them pretty good. We have to finish our food, and I'm gonna make my move now because I'm really pumped. I'm stronger than him, and at first I hesitated the first day because I wasn't as fast as he was, and I don't know how speed factors into the game. I'm not sure if you need to be both stronger and faster, but you know, you'd have to do one or the other. And see, I was gonna get him right there, but then the guard's like, you should be working. You know, what the hell are you doing? So, you know, that kind of saved his butt. You know, saved him a little bit because you know I'm supposed to be doing my job. And one thing though, it screws you up is, you know, every item you pick up is automatically slotted in order from, you know, numbers 1 to 3. And when I was doing my laundry the first day, it was easy to, you know, just hit the, you know, the 1 key or the 2 key, you know, select, you know, the laundry things and, you know, put them in the bin. But this time with the 3 forks there, it's like they're getting slotted to 4, 5, and 6, and it kind of threw off my rhythm. So that kind of sucks. But anyway, knocking out the day. The job quota doesn't seem to go that long, at least on the first. This is the easy prison, the very easy prison. It's the first prison, so I'm assuming at this point that maybe as the prisons get more difficult, you'll have to work longer or something like that. Maybe not, but it would be cool. It'd be frustrating too if you're trying to escape or you're trying to work on digging a hole or something, or you know, cutting a bar or whatever you're doing, you know, and it seems like you have to spend all day doing, you know, the laundry or whatever. That'd be pretty funny. But now we're finished with that, you know. See, I'm outside during work, but you know, since my job quota is full, they don't say nothing to me. And they see me, but my counter isn't going up, so, you know, that lets me know that I got free time to, you know, do on something. And there's another ladder like that looks pretty interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna try try something in this area, but the gym is too public. Like, look how many people just walk in there, you know, during the regular time. And once again, Seymour Butts is saved because it's time to exercise or whatever, and you know, you can't have nothing going down in the gym because there's too many guards, there's too many people. And I don't think I'll actually try the shower wall or the gym room, and I won't try nothing in those. Like, so far the only places I'm thinking of making a move is the laundry room where I work, in my own cell, because that's the only 2 places where you have some similar, you know, some privacy. Nobody else is gonna or shouldn't, you know, pop in there too much. With the laundry room, the guards like pop in every now and then, but it's not enough to where, you know, where it seems like it'd be detrimental. So once again, checking his stats, because we gotta make sure we're ready. You gotta be ready. But and I could be dead wrong. Like I say, I've seen other people play on YouTube, but I haven't seen past the first week. You know, so I don't know about any escaping strategies or anything like that. I've seen people get caught, you know, and get sent to solitary confinement, but I haven't seen anybody successfully escape, and I haven't seen any, like, you know, groundbreaking or game breaking, like, you know, techniques or anything. And I'm also resisting the urge to Google like how to craft some of the items, because there's so many things you can craft, you know, from weapons to tools and stuff like that, to other things that, you know, they're just coming useful. Like one thing that is pretty funny is you can make a dummy to stick inside your bed, you know. So we know if you're out of your bed at night, you're digging, you're in a tunnel digging, you know, the guards will say, hey, where the hell is this person at? So I do know that, you know, I have been spoiled a little bit on the dummy, but that's as far as I'm willing to go. Like what I've seen, you know, I'm just gonna make that the cutoff point and bring, you know, just play it myself, because I mean, it's really fun. Like even now, like just playing it, I haven't even done anything yet. I haven't chipped one wall, I haven't done one hole, I haven't even beat up anybody, I haven't even turned in a quest, but you feel this subconscious like anticipation, like you know you're gonna try something. It's like, you know, if you're a guy, you know you're gonna do, you know you're up to something, you know you're up to no good, you know, right off the bat. I mean, period. I mean, you know, like from the get-go, you're gonna do something. And right now, even though I've only been eating breakfast, you know, working out, showering, you know, doing laundry, I mean, you just have this this, you feel like this sensation, you know it's gonna go down. And right now here I got free time, so we're kicking Seymour Butts' tail, and he almost got me. I'm actually surprised at that. My strength is higher than his, and you know what I should have done is check to see if he has a weapon, because now that I'm narrating this and looking at the video again, I'm thinking that was a big slip up, because every day I think they can change whether or not they have a weapon on them. Because when I looked at him earlier, he wasn't carrying a weapon, and so I was going by his basic strength and stats at that moment. But I didn't consider the fact that, that every day is a new day. What if he crafted a shank, or something like that, was ready for me. Or he didn't know I was going to try to beat him down, but you got to be ready for any event, it's prison. So, and see, that was a big slip up. And if I was in jail for real, that would have probably cost me my life. You would say, well, I think I could take this dude, but you don't realize he has like a piece of glass, like he broke a mirror or something, and has like a long glass spike, hidden in his pants or something. And you try something and dude slash your throat or stick you in the kidneys or something, or stick you in the back, in the lung or something, and that's it. So, but that's one of the joys of post narration. You get to watch your gameplay from an objective point of view. It's a little bit harder to talk because when you're doing something live, you can speak out of your your instant emotion. But when you rewatch something, you kind of already know what's going to happen, so you're disinterested in a little bit. But being objective, it really helped me out this time. So anyway, I'm on the internet to get my intellect up, and I'm not sure about how much energy you can expend. Like, I should stop letting my energy go up to in the 90s, because I don't want to get jumped and then not have any energy left, because I've been on the internet all day, or I've been working out all day. So anyway, we're back at the evening roll call, and I just wanted to check out some of the other people. And I thought it was funny, this dude has 0 intellect. So I mean, that guy is dumb as hell. And I thought that was pretty funny. And they have contraband on them all the time, man. Like, every time it seems like I check, if you check 3 guys, one of them will have something that's illegal, and it looks like it's something real bad. Like, I don't see in prison like dudes walking around with like rope or a guard's uniform. Like, one dude, he'll have a guard's uniform on him. It's like, that, come on, like, out of all the things. But who knows, as the prisons progress. Like I say, this is the level 1 very easy prison, and it's just day 2. I haven't even, it's an evening roll call on day 2, so I haven't even got into the real meat of the game, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it already. I enjoyed watching people play it, and I'm really enjoying it playing it myself, and I'm just trying to keep a supply. One thing I do know, you can use plastic forks to chip stuff, which I stated earlier, so that's what I'm going to do. Just get a little bit started on my plan. I don't want to have a hole in the walls, something obvious, but, I want to feel like I made some progress, because the days are really short. But anyway, I'm your host, Raven. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Escapists yourself. Right now, it's on sale on Steam. It just came out of early access, and I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.